All right, August has gone mute on top of being colorblind. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking the men's King of the Ring tournament. We are down to the final four, but what a monumental way to get here because we had four solid fatal four ways. Now, I'm not mad at this final four. I think that there's a lot that they have to play into with these matchups. Sami Zayn and Randy Orton, phenomenal. But the story behind Cody and Jay, I'm excited to see that. And I'm excited to see how this tournament rolls out. I'm giddy. I'm giddy. I'm excited for this, and I can't wait to dive into this with you. August, what are you feeling?
Not great. I hate this. I hate this Final Four with a passion.
Of course you do.
Here's the problem. The consistency across the board sucks. Because, first off, Randy Orton had a title match this year. He didn't have to fight a 16-man tournament in order to get the title match. He just walked up to John Cena and said, hey, I want a match. Cena was like, sure, and then they did it. So now that Orton has to compete in a 16-man tournament is kind of crazy. Yeah, he lost it. He lost the title match, but he got cheated, right? He got cheated out of the victory. So it's interesting that he is in this position. Cody Rhodes never got his rematch clause for his championship. Jey Uso lost his title the fucking week before, and he hasn't had his rematch clause. So why are any of those three men in this tournament to begin with? I don't even fucking know. Orton kind of makes sense. Cody shouldn't be here, and Jey Uso shouldn't be here. Sami Zayn, I'm not super mad at, but the problem, the cool thing and the problem is now this is essentially, here are these four, and they're all intertwined with each other. And Cody is essentially at the center of this whole story. And that is the story they're kind of going with here. And it's cool because anybody can win any of these matches here. This doesn't necessarily have to be a Raw versus a SmackDown guy in this sense. You can have Zayn versus Uso, Zayn versus Cody, or Orton versus Cody, or Orton versus Uso. All of these matches are big matches that can happen. I do apologize. In the women's video, I did say it was the finals of the King of the Ring tournament last year where Gunther beat Jey Uso. It was not. It was the semifinals because the finals was Orton versus Gunther. I am now remembering that.
Right. Okay. But here's the thing. You did say it was either the finals or the semifinals, so no hate to you on there. But also, I didn't correct you. I'm sure some people in the comments certainly did, though.
Most certainly. I'm not mad at these four. It just really sucks because you look at the women's top four, and let's go back to that. Jade Cargill, Roxanne Perez are both two up-and-comers who need big wins to solidify their career. Bliss and Asuka are both returning stars who made big returns in 2025. Asuka much more recently than Bliss, but the point still stands here. And both of these women could really use a win to re-solidify themselves in the top contention. They have had solid showings this year. They have done great things. That is not present in terms of the King of the Ring finals tournament. Cody does not need this win. Jay does not need this win. Sami could potentially use this win, but at the same time, why Sami over Penta, over Braun, over Carmelo Hayes, over LA Knight? Well, why Sami? Sami doesn't need this win. He is established as a top guy. He really doesn't need this victory right here, right now. And Orton, literally, his last match was a world title match. So, outside of course, the semi-finals, quarterfinals, sorry. I just, it's really cool because all four of these men have such history and they have such stories with each other. Orton and Zayn, Orton was the one who came back and saved Zayn from the beatdown from Kevin Owens, in case you forgot that. So that does tie in story-wise there. Of course, you have honorary Uso between Zayn and Jay. You have Cody and Jay, which was Cody's first championship victory coming back to WWE, was holding the tag team titles with Jay Uso. These guys are very close. You have Zayn and Rhodes. Zayn was actually the one who came to the aid of Cody Rhodes along with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 39 to defend him at Cody's first shot at the title there. So it's, and then of course Cody Orton, that's the story they are gonna tell in the future. We are getting to that eventually. We have to. That is the big match WWE has in their back pocket right now for Cody Rhodes. So I love the depth of these final four. I just hate the fact it comes at the cost of, I would have loved to have seen Damian Priest in one of these final four as a follow-up to, he just beat Drew McIntyre, and what have we done with him since? Nothing. That win was basically for nothing if they don't capitalize on it. I would love to see Rusev, Sheamus don't really need it, but the fact that both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are both out of this tournament, what the hell are we doing? Why put them in it if they're just going to immediately lose? What was Seth's strategy there? And the overarching fact that Rollins and these two were basically involved in pretty much every match here. Jesus, it's gonna get exhaustive to the audience. I love Seth Rollins. I love Seth Rollins more than anybody. The crowd is going to get pissed in bad ways if you keep having him interfere in every single big match situation. I know it's his character, but when you rob us of clean finishes every single week at every big match at every event, the audience is rightfully going to turn, and it's go away heat. It's not, oh, we hate this guy, boo, somebody beat him up. It's, this is getting fucking ridiculous. We've done this 300 times already. Give us something new. And that doesn't even fall on Rollins, but he's going to be the one taking the brunt of that because the company is putting him up as the paper man to tear down. I'm pretty pissed these are our final four. We needed a new star or two. Some of these other names that did not move forward are criminal.
I couldn't agree more. The one that shocked me the most was absolutely Braun Breaker. But the problem is, you need Sami in the damn Final Four. I personally am so excited for Sami Zayn to be part of this Final Four. I love him. And just like you said, he does need to be here. The other three do not. I would like to counterpoint two of the men. One of them being Randy Orton. Now, obviously, like you said, if his goal is to have a title match, he doesn't need to win this. But I think that perhaps, now they haven't dived into this yet, but like you said, Randy Orton was in the final two last year and lost to Gunther. Gunther is the new world heavyweight champion. What better way to get retribution against Gunther, against the man that beat him in the finals of last year's tournament, than to win King of the Ring this year, win his title of King of the Ring, and then go on to win his title from him at SummerSlam. I feel like that is Randy's point here. That is his reasoning. I think that's why he's in this tournament. He said, you know, I want my retribution against Gunther, and the best way that he sees himself doing it is to win King of the Ring, make up for last year's loss, and then go after the man that took it away from him last year. I agree with you. Cody Rhodes has absolutely no damn business being in this match. Oh my god, I hate it so much. Even though he would be a phenomenal King of the Ring, get him as far away from this tournament as you possibly can. There's no reason for him to be here right now. It's so annoying.
The last time we saw Cody Rhodes and Jey, they literally just beat John Cena at the last pay-per-view. If anybody deserves a title shot without winning a fucking tournament, it is one of these two who have not reenacted rematch clause and have both just beat a world champion at their last appearance. I am on pay-per-view. I'm pissed.
Literally. Now, just to argue on behalf of Jey Uso. Now, obviously, this man hasn't even gotten his rematch yet, and he's already in a tournament to crown the King of the Ring, right? I think that it's very similar to the vein of Randy Orton that I touched on. He just lost his championship to Gunther, the man that he took it from. Gunther was King of the Ring last year, and that is how he went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship last year. Now, how poetic would it be if Jay at WrestleMania beat Gunther for the championship using Gunther's move? If he is able to win the tournament that Gunther won initially, that led to Gunther winning the title, if Jay can win that tournament and then go on to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship and win again, using Gunther's tactics, using Gunther's trajectory and his plan that he had last year that panned out, I am so intrigued by that story right there. Obviously, like we said, Jay does not need to be here. He should be getting a rematch no matter what. Somebody else ruined that, and we'll talk about that at a later date. But Jay has a but the thing is Jay smart enough to come up with it? I don't know. But Jay has a legitimate plan of trajectory to SummerSlam against the man that took his title in the first place, Gunther. I definitely see those two, Randy and Jay, being in this. I do. But like you said, I would love to see them elevating newer stars, younger stars, hungry stars. Like you said, Damian Priest, who was in the match against Cody Rhodes. Nakamura would have also been phenomenal. Him as King of the Ring, take my money. And like I said, Braun Breaker, he would have been a phenomenal King of the Ring. It wouldn't necessarily align with what he's doing right now. LA Knight, oh my god, come on. King of the... If you're not going to make him Money in the Bank, he should be King of the Ring, but I digress. Aleister Black would be a phenomenal King of the Ring. Carmelo Hayes, I know people were pushing for that, and obviously that did not happen. Penta would be a pretty sick King of the Ring. Dominic Mysterio, it's going to happen. Eventually, it'll happen. He doesn't need it right now.
He's IC champion. Why the fuck is he here?
I know. Why the fuck is Dominic Mysterio in the damn tournament? He doesn't need it. Why are you giving world title matches to people that already have a title? It's just bonkers. Like, I'm sorry, do you not have enough people on the roster? Because I know you do, because Karrion Kross was not in this tournament.
El Grande Americano. Chad Gable.
Not in the tournament. Not in the tournament. Throw the whole thing away. That man should be the King of the Ring. Let's start at the top. Let's look at it. Sami Zayn defeating Penta, Braun Breaker, and I almost said Rey Mysterio. That would have been great. Rey Mysterio Jr., Dominic Mysterio. You did not just say that.
That's pretty good.
It's giving...
Hashtag it.
It's giving Frank Jr. from Friends.
Jesus Christ, a Friends reference. Honestly, Penta, I said it leading up to WrestleMania, they need to put him with his brother. He's getting lost right now. If you're not going to give him a title run or something to do, put him with his damn brother and let them run the tag team division so they can have a spotlight on them. Right now, everybody's looking at Penta being like, what the hell are we doing with this guy? They could be the most over
and his brother is nowhere to be seen. His brother's nowhere to be seen except at Worlds Collide in that Fatal 4-Way, and yet everybody's like, well, what are they doing with Rey Fenix? Because they're not doing anything with him. At least they're doing something with Penta, but Rey Fenix is off and gone. I don't even know what they're doing with him at this point.
Braun, I was so excited when they did the backstage segment, and Seth essentially announced, like, hey, we're putting Braun in this match. Like, this is what we're doing. Because I was like, oh my god. They're not doing the whole predictable, like, Seth is like, no, you guys are my guard dogs. Let's keep you with this level. Seth is like, no, I want world champions backing my ass. That's what I want. And I was like, oh my god, this is sick. I love this. This is awesome. And then Braun just fucking died. No. Fucking lost. And I was like, well, this is great. This is cool. It was a good match. It was a good matchup. I'm not mad at Sami Zayn winning. The thing here, we kind of touched upon Gunther. Obviously, there's a story to tell with Gunther, Sami Zayn. Sami was the one to end the historic Intercontinental Championship reign at WrestleMania 39. Cody Rhodes v. Gunther. They have fought one time. Cody came out victorious. I believe that was Survivor Series last year. It was one of the pay-per-views toward the end of the year.
I don't remember the name of it. Well, maybe I do. It was Crown Jewel. Because he became the Crown Jewel champion. Because it was champion versus champion.
That's right. That's right. So Cody Rhodes v. Gunther. Cody came out on top. It was a solid match.
Plus his interactions in the Royal Rumble where it came down to Cody and Gunther, and they basically had a one-on-one match on top of the Royal Rumble because they went for several minutes, and it was phenomenal. They put on a masterclass showing, and I loved that final two in the Royal Rumble a few years ago. That was phenomenal.
Which was also sick because Gunther came in at number 1, Cody was 30, and the second to last man eliminated was Seth, who came in at number 15. So it was a really interesting story that they told throughout there. And
that was brilliant.
Of course, Destiny already brilliantly touched upon Orton v. Gunther's story and JV Gunther's story. And so then you look at the other flip coin of it, and of course, Cody Cena makes sense, Jay Cena makes sense, and Orton Cena makes sense. These are literally matches we've had this year for 2 of them. And Jay, they have teased relentlessly between we got the tag match, and Jay, of course, famously eliminating Cena last to get that Rumble victory. Sammy v. Cena, I don't see happening. It's just such a wild card to throw in at the last minute to be like, all right, let's do. If Sammy wins, he's challenging Gunther, which is why I don't think Sammy's winning this tournament, because this is going to be the hottest take of the night. Everybody thinks Goldberg is retiring at Saturday night's main event. Fuck that. Goldberg is going to beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that is your SummerSlam. SummerSlam, it is a 2-night event. They need the biggest matches possible. And Gunther versus Goldberg, where Gunther has to recapture his championship, is a bigger match than any other name you could list up here, is the reason I'm saying that. If you can save Cody for a different event, if you could save Orton, if you could save Jay, if you could save Sammy, these are big stars you want lined up with somebody else that can carry a program. Gunther needs a top star to compete against, and if you do the return where Goldberg wins the world title at Saturday nights, everybody thinks he's going to lose because it's Gunther. It pops up Saturday night's main event ratings because right now people are like, oh, it's a glorified house show. Nothing happens at those. Well, a world title just changed hands at one of those glorified house shows. And now you have the follow-up of...
came back at one of those glorified house shows.
So it's I genuinely see Goldberg is going to beat Gunther at Saturday night's main event, and then Gunther has to take it back at SummerSlam. So I think the winner of this match, of this tournament, is going against Cena, which is why I'm pissed Orton, Uso, and Rhodes are all here, and why Zayn doesn't need to be here, because there's not a story with Zayn versus Cena.
Damn it!
You're welcome. I'm sorry I've ruined your life. Randy Orton, LA Knight. I almost said LA Black, too. That would have been crazy. Aleister Black. I guess he's not really... He's, Malachi Black? He hasn't been Aleister Black in a long time. Jesus.
He's Aleister Black. He's Aleister Black.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he is back to Aleister Black.
Malachi was back in Black. The other show.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Back in Black!
Speaking of Black, yeah. Carmelo Hayes. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, you can't say that with what's happening on Twitter right now. I'm just saying.
Anyways... Very intriguing.
I hate you.
Very intriguing. Just rolling through it. Very intriguing opening promo on SmackDown, which saw a lot of surprises because we got the stare down of Cena and Punk. Of course, we had Ron Killings interrupting towards the end of the segment. Cody Rhodes coming out. Randy Orton coming out. Like, this whole dynamic of everything layering on top of each other is actually really cool. And then LA Knight is the surprise curveball there. I did predict LA Knight to be challenging. I thought he was going to lose Money in the Bank, and I said, I think Saturday night's main event, that is John Cena, LA Knight. I think that's what John Cena's opponent, and that was before Ron Killings came back. So ultimately, I don't know what their plan is for who, what, when, and where, but they did tease the LA Knight Cena here. I think that confirms that match is going to happen sooner or later. It has to, otherwise why are you building towards it right now? With Cena, it doesn't make sense to waste his time in segments with people that he's not going to face. With other people, you can always tease it because in 2 years' time, when they finally do fight, then you can bring it back. Cena's not going to be here in 2 years. So if they're teasing it, it has to happen soon. This is cool. This is cool, I guess. I really think Carmelo Hayes would have really benefited from winning here. LA Knight.
He did just win. He just won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and they've done nothing to capitalize on that, which isn't surprising. They don't really do anything with the winner of that. But that was a really cool accolade for him to have under his belt.
I just think, like, what are we even doing with Carmelo at this point? I'm really worried he's going to be on the list of releases coming up. Just because they haven't done, he's so talented. He was the best looking performer in this whole match. He was, bar none. He stole the show in this match. And they need to give him something because his character is coming along. Every time they give him something to work with, he knocks it out of the fucking park. So give him something good so he's just not knocking clumps of shit out of the park. He's hitting home runs. Sorry for that visual.
Yeah, he very much has that Sami Zayn, Chelsea Green quality where no matter what you give him, this man will turn into gold. He is that talented. He is that multifaceted. He is versatile and he is adaptable. You put him as a solo star, he's a winner. You put him as a tag team star, he is a winner. You put him on the microphone doing silly little interruptions against Cody Rhodes or any other star on the roster, just interrupting them just to get his face on TV. That is a win. He is a winner right there, too. Even if he ends up flat on his back, he looks phenomenal. No matter what this kid does, he is a show stealer. And I can't wait for, I really am hopeful. I really, really am hopeful that they're going to do something with him soon-ish. You know what he would benefit from is a clinic with Dominic Mysterio. That's what his career needs right now.
Let him cook.
Please continue.
Yeah, Orton won. What more is there to say? I love Orton. I think he's great in this. The only reason I'm not super, super pissed at this is because we're finally starting to continue the seeds of Orton versus Rhodes. The promo Orton had on SmackDown where he looked at Cody and he's like, I don't care if I have to get through you to get it. I will claim Championship 15. I'm so excited for it, and I can't wait to see that program between Cody versus Orton. And getting those seeds starting to be planted here. They did do it during Cody's first run where Orton was supporting him, and every time they were in shot together, Orton was looking at the championship. You can look at all those screenshots every time Orton's looking at the title on Cody's shoulder, and I love that detail. Orton is a genius with that. Orton needs to be respected as a veteran, so he needs to be getting wins and continuing to be a top talent and to be a top draw. It's so... One, why would Nick Aldis put him in this position? Because the last time we saw Orton was him RKOing Nick Aldis once again. The better story is doing that same promo on SmackDown and Aldis being like, hey, guess what, bud? You're not even in the match. Ha ha, hardy har, wink wink, nudge nudge. That
sets up a match for SummerSlam. Because it needs to be Orton versus Aldis.
That's the story they should have left. Instead, Orton just disappeared. He came back, and they've dropped the whole Aldis thing until 2 or 3 months from now they'll pick it back up like they didn't skip a beat. And it pisses me off because Orton should not be reinserted into this Cena bit. This tease would have been really nice, and then having Aldis rug pull him as revenge for the RKO would have been even better. Taking him out of this match, putting somebody else in there, and then... Ultimately, I think this should have been LA Knight. I think LA Knight advancing in this tournament would have been huge for him. Any more thoughts on match 2, or we moved on to match 3?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I'm 100% with you. It should have absolutely 100 million% been LA Knight. We all know it. Especially with everything that he's been doing. He's been showing up on both Raw and SmackDown. He just lost Money in the Bank. This man has nothing left to lose, and I'm loving seeing this side of him. I'm really excited. Orton didn't, like you said, he didn't need to be in it. He just faced John Cena. We don't need another Cena versus Orton. And that's coming from me. I said that the 2 feuds that I wanted Cena to run back were Orton and Punk. Those are the 2 that I want to see. The rest, I want it all to be new and fresh. Unfortunately, we're not getting that. Especially at SummerSlam, especially when you look at these final 4. It's just going to be a revisiting of the past. I mean, yes, Jay, I get it. I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it one-on-one. I don't care. And especially if Jay does win this tournament, he's not going after Cena. He's going after Gunther, no matter what August says. Moving on to the next one. Rhodes, Priest, Andrade, Nakamura. We both already said it. Cody shouldn't be here. There's no reason. This man never got his rematch. Thank you. This man never got on Cena. Did you hear that? Hello? Okay, I just saw my face was... Okay. This man, Cody Rhodes, never got his proper rematch against John Cena for the WWE Championship. He probably, just like anybody else, can just say, hey, I want Cena, and could get it because he never got his rematch. Just like Randy did, just like Punk is doing, just like every other person that has faced Cena has done. He didn't need to be in this match. Like you said, Priest would have been a perfect choice to have advanced here. Don't even have Cody in the tournament, especially considering he was the one that picked up the victory in the tag team match against John Cena and Logan Paul. There's no reason for Rhodes to need to fight for this. I'm so terrified that Cody's going to win the whole thing because I've been saying for months SummerSlam is going to be Cody versus Cena again. And like I said, Cody would be a phenomenal King of the Ring. He would. But he doesn't need it right now. It's the last thing he needs. And especially, I want more of an Xavier Woods and everybody else beforehand, obviously, type of run as King of the Ring. I want him to actually be the King of the Ring. I don't want it to just be a number one contender slot. I want the person, whoever wins, to come out in the crown with a robe and a scepter. I want them to be the King of the Ring. I don't want what Gunther did last year where he's like, thanks for this, yeet. He would never say that. But I'm just so worried for who is actually going to win.
The fans are going to hate it no matter what. No matter what.
They really screwed the pooch on this one because there was no need for this. But there's no need. There's no need for any of this, and I'm so sick of it. I didn't see the match because I didn't need to see the match. Sorry, guys. I'm sure it was phenomenal, but why do I need to watch a Fatal 4-Way that Cody Rhodes
is in?
Just won?
Yeah, it's Cody Rhodes. There was no world where he was going to lose this match.
Yeah. And I love Cody, and I think he's a phenomenal performer and a great wrestler, as are the other three men in this match. But there's no reason. I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch it. I can't.
Here's the other awkward thing. This is 4 baby faces in the finals.
Eep.
So, yes, you do have 2 heel champions right now. The issue... There's just so many problems with this because... First off, you just buried your whole heel division. SmackDown has never looked like more of a joke in terms of your upper mid-carders because Andrade, Nakamura, Black, Hayes, LA Knight could not look like... You could put them in any match and they never look like they're going to win now. And Black just came back after WrestleMania. He just made his re-debut and they're like, oh, let's put him against The Miz. Well, The Miz is kind of gone. Let's just have him do nothing. Let's just have him lose qualifier matches. Maybe we'll do a feud with Nakamura. And then they didn't do... Nakamura should have been... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You could have swapped Nakamura and Hayes. That way you could have done the Hayes-Andrade stuff, which I know was overdone, but at least they have history there.
So, no. It can never be overdone. It's brilliant.
Then you have Nakamura, Black, and you can kind of continue that story in the background to at least give them both something. Priest should have won this match, hands down. Cody should not have been here. I agree wholeheartedly with that. I know the audience would also hate Priest for the most part, the majority of the audience, because he's also overbooked and overpushed. Priest is somebody who needs it right now. He just had the win of his career over Drew McIntyre. He was literally world champ last year. So having him advance in this tournament would be so huge for the progression of solidifying him as a top star. Because now instead he just had the battle of his life, soundly beat Drew McIntyre like we have never seen before. But then he can't win the following, couple weeks. His next opportunity, he's like, nope, screwed the pooch, couldn't win this. Yeah, ridiculous. I think the story with Cody and Cena, that third match needs to happen, right? Cena won match 1 in the 1v1. Cody won match 2 in the 2v2, so Cena has an out, right? Match 3, I think, should be Cena trying to distance himself as far as he can from Cody until finally at the last pay-per-view, maybe Cena's last match is finally Cody Rhodes. I think this match should not be SummerSlam. I think this match should be as late as we can push this match to happen, and then Cody finally gets his hands back on Cena. Because when Cody faces Cena the final time, Cody has to win. Cody can't lose that match. He can't afford to. You can't afford to put Cena over Cody Rhodes in Cena's last year. If Cena continued and was still making sporadic appearances after this, you could. But if they book Cena to win over Cody in their final matchup, WWE's lost their fucking mind.
Yeah, I don't even know where we go from this, especially I'm not liking where they're going with it. But something I did like was the Fatal 4-Way with Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and the mystery man that was revealed to be the eventual winner, Jey Uso. Now, I mean, we all knew as soon as he was announced as a fourth man, we knew it was going to be Jey Uso. Sheamus, I mean, we were pretty certain he wouldn't win, especially as a former King of the Ring. He wasn't going to win the tournament anyway. Rusev, I mean, he's just back to be back. He's not going anywhere. He's not here to win titles. He's just here to be here because he wasn't being utilized at the other place. Bronson Reed, I personally didn't see advancing. I just don't see that from him the way that I do a Braun Breaker. And Jey was just World Heavyweight Champion. So you're not going to book Jey to lose to these three guys that you don't see advancing in the tournament to lose if he was just World Heavyweight Champion. The only explanation could be, well, he got the daylight sucked out of him last week. He's still banged up. He's still hurt. That could be a legitimate reason for him to lose it. But of course he didn't. And now we get to have a beautiful match between him and Cody Rhodes and the history there. But before we dive into the semifinal matches, August, your thoughts on this Fatal 4-Way? Because I thought it was a great match. I thought it was spectacular. I thought all four of them looked great. They put on a banger, to overuse the word, of course, again. But, what are your thoughts? What's going on Monday Night Raw, my dog?
Less is more, which is what's pissing me off so much about the booking. Because the moment between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes on Raw was powerful. When Seth went to go do the beatdown on Jey and Cody came to the save, and there was that mini stare down between Seth and Cody, and you could feel that history, you could feel that dynamic, and the fact that the last time these two locked eyes really in a big scenario was WrestleMania 40 when Seth was shaking Cody's hand after essentially being the only reason Cody was champion was Seth fucking Rollins, by the way. Seth did exactly what he said he was going to do. He wasn't Cody's sword. He was his fucking shield. He entered that match. Yep. He didn't hit one strike on Roman Reigns or The Rock, and he still was the reason Cody walked away as the winner because he took the hit that Roman was supposed to hit Cody with. He used his brain. He made Roman hit him instead of Cody. He took the shot, and that is why Cody was the champion. And getting to see that stare down, that dynamic was huge, but it had a lot of the power sucked away because friggin' Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were interfering in every other frickin' match leading up to it for the semifinals. So it was just like, okay, it's just more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. Instead of... It's just so... Jey really didn't need this. I really wish... I didn't think Bronson Reed was going to win. I like that Sheamus and Rusev were in this because they can continue, they can tease into that story, which I really like. But just... Yeah, we have Cody and we have Jay, and that's going to be one hell of a match. I have my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping my savior is going to be a name I never thought I would say would be my savior. Logan fucking Paul just lost to these two men. Was the last time we saw Logan Paul, and I could very much see him costing Cody Rhodes this tournament. Possibly as a favor to Cena, or possibly because his stubborn ego is angry that he lost to Cody Rhodes. And so I really see him costing Cody Rhodes. But Jay is not this is the problem, that there's 4 baby faces here. Jay would not take advantage of that. Maybe you could, and maybe this is the next evolution of Jay's character, and it finally gives Jay that little bit of edge, where we kind of see Jay take the same path Cena took at Elimination Chamber, where Cody got taken out, and now Jay takes advantage of that, the same way Punk got taken out and Cena took advantage. I would love that. I would be very, very happy with that. But I do think if... I really want to back... I don't know. I don't know. Out of these 4 men, I don't want fucking any of them to win. That's what's sad. That's what's really sad. I don't want any of these men to win this match.
There's just no reason. I mean, yeah, Sammy would be great. I just don't see the story there right now. Orton doesn't need it. Cody doesn't need it. Jay doesn't need it.
Well,
So, I mean, like, the thing is, like, I am excited for these matches. These are going to be great matches, and I love the stories that are there, especially with Jay and Cody. I love that those 2 men are going to duke it out. It's going to be phenomenal. And I know that Sammy and Orton are going to make magic together. I'm excited for these matches, and I'm excited for these competitors, because these are 4 people that I absolutely love watching. But I feel like the reason for a King of the Ring is to elevate new stars. And nobody here is a new star that needed to be elevated. Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, every single man in this Final 4 is a WrestleMania main eventer. Every single one of them has done it. And there's absolutely no reason for all 4 spots to be taken by made men. Every single man in this match, with the exception of Sami Zayn, was involved in a world title match this year. And if you count Sami Zayn, he was last year? I mean, it's just insane to me. And he's been involved in many world title matches in his career, just not the last year as far as I'm aware.
On a quick side note,
Gunther, but
on a quick side note, you mentioned you would love to see... none of these men are going to rock King of the Ring. That's my prediction. Nobody's going to... It's not going to be King
100%.
Sammy, King Rhodes, King Orton, or King Uso. It's not going to happen. King Kevin... If Kevin Owens wasn't injured right now, nobody in the history of this company would be a better king than Kevin Owens. Him pretending that he is actually like a presidential ruler would be so fucking hysterical. A heel Kevin Owens walking around being like, "You need to do this," and then being like, "Kevin, you don't actually control anybody," and it being like, "I'm the king. This crown, it means something. It has to. You guys are turning this into a joke. What the hell? What is this even for? Why am I wearing a crown?" It would be so fucking... If anybody would rock that gimmick, it would be... And then the following year, when they crown the next king, Kevin coming out the following night still wearing his crown, being like, "What the hell? I didn't even get to defend my crown. I didn't lose. Why am I no longer the king?" Would be so fucking hysterical. Like, insanity Kevin Owens as a king. You had mentioned like 20 minutes ago, and I forgot. I like popped up for a second. I was like, oh my God, when you were talking about you want to see the king gimmick. King Kevin, I literally almost started crying because King Kevin, take my fucking money, dude. I wish Kevin Owens wasn't injured right now, because that'd be so... You know he would be here, because Zayn and Orton are here. He would be in this, maybe not the Final 4, but he would have been involved in at least the preliminary matches. King Kevin would have been so fucking funny, dude.
Well, here's the thing, dog. Like, you just think back to his work with Jericho when it's like, you're gonna speak like that to the longest reigning Universal Champion in history? 7 days. Yeah.
7 days?
Oh my and it would be not only that, but just to go back to him as United States champion. He was the face of America, the United States of Kevin, and how relevant it was to the world we were living in, and also how relevant it would be currently in today's political landscape for Kevin Owens to be the king and to go around acting like that. Oh my god, it's just so perfect. It's too relevant. The story writes itself. I wish this man wasn't injured. I mean, I wish he wasn't injured for a million reasons. Kevin Owens is that guy that is perfect in everything he does. Kevin Owens is, quite frankly, my favorite wrestler, possibly of all time. He is one of the greatest of all time, and not enough people give him his flowers. I love Kevin Owens with my entire heart. I would do anything to see a King of the Ring Kevin Owens. Take all my money now. Literally, as soon as this podcast is done, I'm gonna cry because this is so brilliant, and we need to book it somehow ourselves. Like, we need to pretend, like, we need to make fake segments. I literally, if it wasn't being used as a stand for my computer right now, I would show you. I have the Festival of Friendship action figure set. I would take Kevin out of that to reenact these for you people. I would take out my Kevin Owens action figure. I would buy a separate action figure set that has a King of the Ring getup, and I would put it on my Kevin Owens action figure. That's how much I want this to happen.
Getting back into the main of what we have, but I just wanted to bring that up because I knew, yeah. Well, and
Kevin Owens is so much better than these four.
You think of so much. Yeah, no, Kevin Owens just knocks everybody out of the water. Yeah.
Everybody.
I'm sorry I brought that up. I just ruined this whole tournament for myself.
No, it's so good. It's so brilliant. And you know he would have, well, I mean, you don't know, but I mean, in my eyes, he would have been in Cody's spot, because why the fuck is Cody in this match?
So, Destiny, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, who's winning?
Here's my thing, right? Obviously, I mentioned that Randy Orton wants to do what he couldn't do last year, and that's obviously win the King of the Ring tournament. Now, this is important. Randy's not going to win. I don't think Sammy's going to win the whole thing. But when it comes down to it, if Randy beats Sammy, where the hell does Sammy go from there? That is just gonna shove him down even farther than he already is. But having Sammy go over a 14-time world champion in Randy Orton, I just don't want to see Sammy suffer another loss, especially one of this magnitude, especially when he is fighting for something so close to him, because the thing is, he's not involved in the title picture right now. He's the only one fighting to enter the title scene, so him losing just does not work for me. So that's why I personally have Sammy winning this match, because I don't want him to lose it. I want him to continue to put up that fight that only Sami Zayn can, and how monumental it would be for him to get a victory over Randy Orton. It would solidify him once again as a main eventer, as a top star, and I really, really want it for him. I do.
So there's one thing. Well, there's one person we've kind of talked about that I want to bring up because they play a huge part in this, and that is Seth Rollins. In the same way how we mentioned Naomi treating Jade, and how I thought Naomi would take out Jade if they do go that route, why she would want her out of that title picture. Seth has already been a nuisance in pretty much every match so far with his team.
Yep.
And Seth has been the thorn in Sammy's side since Sammy said no. I can 100%, if there's anybody in this whole tournament here out of these four who can lean into that heel character without being a heel, it's Randy Orton. We saw that at WrestleMania when he attacked and RKO'd Joe Hendry after the match, after the spot, and he still gets cheered. If there's one person who can use those heel tactics and get away with it and just be like, hey, it's because I'm smart, it's because I'm the veteran, it's Randy Orton. And I do see Seth Rollins not minding. If Seth Rollins had to pick a winner in this tournament, I see him backing Randy Orton. Because Randy Orton is the aging veteran. He knows Cody can take on all comers. Randy Orton 10 years ago, absolutely not. But Randy Orton today, I feel like that the Jey Uso has unstoppable momentum. He beat the unbeatable Gunther. Sami Zayn has been the thorn in Seth's side, just like Seth has been the thorn in his side. Sami said no, he doesn't want Sami Zayn to prove him wrong because Seth can't be proven wrong. And then Cody, obviously, is the man who was 3-0 against Seth Rollins since coming back to the company, including when Seth had his torn tricep or his pec. I don't remember what it was, but he had the torn muscle.
Yeah, Cody had his torn.
Yeah, and he still beat Seth in Hell in a Cell with the torn muscle. And so Seth doesn't want to tussle with Cody. He doesn't want to tussle with Jey. And he doesn't want to tussle with Zayn. I see him kind of backing Randy Orton in this tournament. And so I see Randy Orton beating Sami Zayn because, once again, Rollins cost Sami Zayn. I think they're going to continue that feud with Sami Braun Breaker, essentially. Because Triple H loves the slow brew, and I think Orton is going to take advantage, and you kind of get that, not quite a head nod, but that moment of the stare down between Seth and Orton, and what does it mean? Is there a deeper meaning there, or are these just two ships passing in the night?
So, on to the next match. I'm not going to say I don't want to talk about it, because here's the thing. Like I said, I am so beyond excited for this match. I am thrilled that this is happening, and I can't wait to see how they lead into it. Like, all the backstage talking, like all the backstage segments, like, you're my brother, but I gotta face you, or like, you're my best friend, you're my brother, you're my partner, but I gotta beat your ass to go on and get my they're both gonna say the same thing. You're my brother, but I gotta beat your ass to get back what's rightfully mine, and that is the championship. Either man could say the same thing. And here's my problem. I don't know which one of these two men is going to win this match. It is a legitimate toss-up for me. Because I can see a King of the Ring Jey Uso. Like, I mean, he's already starting to get blinged out. He's got the grill. He's got everything. Just a little more drip as King of the Ring. Maybe he doesn't even wear the crown, but he gets, like, a crown on a gold chain or something like that. Like, really playing into it that way. It would be brilliant to see. But you're telling me that Cody Rhodes is going to lose to Jey? Doubtful. So, and obviously, like I said, Cody Rhodes would be a phenomenal King of the Ring if he was an actual King of the Ring and not just using this as a launching pad to get back at Cena. See, I think that you kind of touched on it earlier. I definitely see some interference in this match, either from Cena or from Logan Paul or whoever it may be, and I'm fine with that. I can't truly pick a winner, but whichever man wins this match is going to win the whole freaking tournament.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is, I think Cody can't win this. Cody can't fucking win this. If he wins this, the fans are turning on Cody.
100%.
It's happening, and WWE they need to fucking slow their roll and stop. But Jey wins. Jey beats Cody. Cody gets interfered on. I think Logan is going to cost Cody here. I think Jey might unknowingly take advantage to where Jey is going for a move. He's not fully paying attention. Logan hits the brass knuckle punch. And Jey doesn't even realize Cody got hit. He inadvertently takes advantage of the fact, and he beats Cody in the tournament. Just solely for the dynamic of Logan Paul Cena to continue, where Cena is almost treating Logan like his lackey at that point, where he's like, yeah, you did a good job, bud. Now you got to put him down at SummerSlam. And then you do Cody Rhodes and you do Logan Paul at SummerSlam, because it's a big enough match for Cody to where his name is not losing star power because he essentially gets the celebrity match against Logan Paul. So I think that keeps Cody looking decently strong and setting him up that Cena is purposefully trying to withhold Cody Rhodes from getting the rematch because Cena is scared. That in itself keeps Cody looking strong. It does put Jey Uso in the position where if Jey wins, it's a coin flip. He can go after Gunther and say, I want my world title back, Us, which is what he should have done anyways because the fucking rematch clause. Or he can look at Cena and say, you're the one who's been trying to hold me down, trying to hold me back. I proved my point against Gunther. I beat him for the world title at WrestleMania. Now I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to become a WWE champion and save the WWE. So he could go either way. And ultimately, advancing, I have Randy Orton versus Jey Uso as my finals for King of the Ring.
You know, I think, unfortunately for you, I do have to agree. I think you're 100% right. I do have, I'm going to agree with you and say Jey Uso's beating Cody Rhodes just for the sake of what I said at the very beginning, and that was how he is having a parallel story to Gunther last year. Because Gunther went in, won King of the Ring, went on to SummerSlam to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey is going to parallel that, and in my eyes, go back at Gunther, get back what's his, and have a parallel story to Gunther. That exact same story that was told with Gunther last year is going to be Jey this year. Because we already saw it with Jey beating Gunther with his own move. And now we're going to see Jey potentially beating Gunther with his own tactics. Now, that being said, my final two then are Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Now, which one of them isn't going to be feeling very Usy? That's the real question here, August. Now, I already said whoever won, Jey or Cody, was going to win the whole thing. And like I said, Jey being Mr. Money in the Bank and the way that he can play with it, with the bling, with the crowd, with everything. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. I don't see him doing it for a long time. None of these men are going to have a long, lengthy run as King of the Ring. We all know that. Jey can play to it, though, with his character. I do see Jey beating Sami. But Sami has had those teases of, is he going to turn heel? And if he is, when is he going to turn heel? And you know it's going to be on Jey. That's his brother. That's his oos. Like, ugh. So I really do see it being Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso, and I see Jey Uso coming out on top. I just think that it's so brilliant, the history that's there, and that is my main motivation for my picks in this match, and it is the history, and that is my main reason that I am loving and looking forward to this Final Four and these two semifinal matches. It is the history with Jey and Cody, the history with Jey and Zayn. It's so good, and I love that they're playing into it. I just hope they play it up and actually tell the story that's right there in front of their faces.
3 big names to throw at you real quick. Seth Rollins, CM Punk is about to fight John Cena for the WWE Championship. When CM Punk loses, what the fuck happens to CM Punk? What is CM Punk doing at SummerSlam? What is his story? Because I had predicted that CM Punk would interfere in the Seth Rollins. It wouldn't be enough. And unfortunately that didn't happen. I almost feel like Seth is going to cost CM Punk against Cena at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And I think that is going to be your SummerSlam match, as I talked about. Finally, the culmination, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Here's the other problem. There is no chance in hell Roman Reigns is not at SummerSlam. So where the fuck is Roman Reigns going to be on this card? Who is he fighting? The only conceivable opponents I can see for him, since they have had no build to him versus, unless he comes back during the CM Punk Cena match. But the way they've been teasing Cena against Knight, and Ron Killings has returned since then, and now they're moving forward with the Rhodes, and the Uso has lost his world title. Cena's pretty much booked up. And so where the hell is Roman Reigns re-debuting? And tell me why it almost feels like we're getting a rematch triple threat. Reigns versus Rollins versus Punk at SummerSlam. It genuinely feels that's almost what they're leading us towards, which I'm really scared about. They could do a 2v3 tag team, or even a 3v3, and have it be Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk versus the Bronze and Seth. But that still doesn't feel big enough for SummerSlam. You need
Not
these
at
men
all.
in solo matches.
You need your title on the line.
So what
Did you
what
say
the hell?
Did you say a triple threat with Cena, Punk, and Rollins?
No.
Why would Rollins be in the match face Money in the Bank?
Roman, Punk, and
okay.
Yeah, no Cena.
Okay, because you did say a triple threat rematch, but I thought you said Cena. Maybe I'm making shit up.
I might have said Cena.
I thought you said Cena, and I was like, wait, what? But I mean, listen, Cena and Rollins did face at SummerSlam, and that was a fucking phenomenal match.
2015?
The white outfit, the white gear, and it was flawless. It was so good. So good. So good.
The Rollins teasing between Rhodes, the fact that Rollins has been so intricately weaved in with the Jey Uso and Sami Zayn stuff as of recent, makes him feel like he is a major factor for the end of this tournament or the world title picture going into SummerSlam, especially because he is now Mr. Money in the Bank. So Seth is going to be watching all of these very, very closely, and ultimately I do feel the Seth Punk has to happen, because if not, who else is Punk fighting at SummerSlam? If it's not Seth, then Punk has to beat Cena for the title at Night of Champions. That's the only thing they could do.
No damn way.
So,
but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I genuinely think Rollins is going to interfere. He's going to cost Punk. That is going to be Punk's tipping point. We finally get the culmination of their feud where Punk gets the win, he gets over, but Rollins is still your Mr. Money in the Bank. And you could even do the WrestleMania 31 callback to where Randy Orton won the blood feud, right? He got the win at Seth Rollins at the start of the night, but that did not matter, because at the end of the night, who was the world heavyweight, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion? It was Seth freaking Rollins after he cashed in. So you could have Seth cash in to end the show, and even though night 1 he lost to Punk, night 2 he is your new world champion. So all possibilities there.
Delicious. Now, August, how does all of that tie in to the finals of this match?
Jey Uso's gonna win. Ultimately, I think that's the direction that we are steering towards. If Gunther is either facing Jey Uso or he is facing Goldberg at SummerSlam. And I think the story being told with Gunther is they're starting the slow babyface turn. You've seen instances of that where he has been. When he lost to Cody, he shook his hand and didn't attack him afterwards. When he lost to when he beat Pat McAfee, he showed the sign of respect and didn't do the aftermatch beatdown. You've seen him multiple times have these moments of valor. I do see him. I genuinely do think you're gonna do Jey Uso, John Cena. This is my final culmination prediction. It is Jey Uso versus John Cena at WrestleMania, and it is going to be SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, it is going to be Gunther versus Goldberg at SummerSlam. Gunther beats Goldberg. Seth Rollins then cashes in and beats Gunther for the World Championship. Because then the story with Gunther is he's been shaken to his core. He lost the world title. He lost to Sami Zayn, the IC championship. Had a historic rise back up to the top, winning King of the Ring, claiming the World Heavyweight Championship. Looked great. And then he lost back-to-back WrestleManias. He lost to Jey Uso. And then he finally beats Jey Uso, gets his title back, and then immediately loses it to Goldberg. Finally beats Goldberg, gets his world title back, loses it to Seth Rollins. So I think the story they're telling with Gunther is to build that sympathy, is to build that this man keeps getting screwed. He needs to win. He needs to essentially, this needs to culminate with Gunther finally getting this win and getting his babyface run as champion. And I think this is a good way to set that up. I think Seth is going to cash in sooner rather than later, because I see Seth being champion at WrestleMania. And I think Jey Uso winning King of the Ring sets us up there perfectly for those matches. Jey Uso is my final pick, beating Randy Orton in the finals of this tournament.
And then that would also make Gunther a 3-time world heavyweight champion in the span of a year, 12 months, 365 days, 525,600 minutes, you guys. It's insane. So we both have the same winner of the entire tournament. Now, I would not be mad at a Cena versus Jey match at SummerSlam. I really would love to see it, especially with the story they've told since the Royal Rumble. My personal prediction is the Goldberg match is a one-off. We get Gunther versus Jey at SummerSlam, and we get Cena and Cody at SummerSlam. Now, that does pose a problem. 2 WrestleMania rematches. I see that. Don't think I don't see that. But the stories are there. Cody needs his rematch, in my opinion, sooner than later. I know you think it needs to be drawn out. That's perfectly fine. I personally want to see it done and over with sooner than later. I want Cody to lose once again to Cena at SummerSlam, get him out of the title picture, get him to be doing important main event feuds that don't surround the championship, and I want to see Jey go back after Gunther after he was so unceremoniously dethroned, because Jey has a legitimate gripe to go after Gunther. He didn't tap out. Gunther did. And I want to see them explore that, and I want to see them explore it into SummerSlam and beyond.
The 2 issues I rise to you in regards to those. 1, if Cena wasn't retiring this year, absolutely I agree with that. If Cody loses to Cena, it ruins a lot for him for the remainder of his career, because now he never gets that win back over Cena. That's fine by me. But you're a Cena super fan. He's your favorite of all time. You're not a huge fan of Cody. That is very.
I love Cody. Take that back.
That is very short-sighted in terms of the company needs to put asses in seats and build towards the future. And if they put John Cena definitively over Cody Rhodes in this feud, they are screwing themselves. Cody has to win this feud in order to cement himself as the new face of the company over John Cena. The other caveat I will give you is, if WWE gives us Jey Uso versus Gunther one more time, the fans are going to lose their shit. The fans are the outcries that we already had because Gunther had that stare down with Jey and said, "I'm going to fight you in a couple weeks for the world title." And people were like, "Why the fuck are we doing this again? Why are we going back to this feud?" And now that that's over, he lost his title. If Jey wins a friggin' tournament and then just decides to challenge Gunther again, people are going to be absolutely livid that is what they're doing. I think it's smart to leverage Jey winning to set the audience's expectations in the same way 2017 Royal Rumble, 2018 Royal Rumble, the one where Randy Orton won.
2017, and I'm throwing up already.
Yes. The reason why the audience popped so hard, the reason why the audience popped so hard was because they used the hatred of Roman Reigns to put over the decision to have Orton win. The final 2 men were Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, and everybody's like, Roman's going to win this fucking match. It's ridiculous. Orton won, and the audience lost their mind. And I think they're leveraging Jey Uso the same way against Gunther, to where the tease is he's going to choose Gunther. He's going to say, Gunther, I want to fight you. I want to earn my honor back. And Cena's going to make one comment that's like, that's right, you little bitch. You were too scared to face the greatest of all time. And then that's going to set Jey off, and he's going to do the whole, fuck you, Us, I'm fighting you instead. So, if the audience had more patience, the Jey Uso Gunther story, I think, has a lot more layers it could tell. But the audience is too fucking dumb and too impatient to be able to tell those stories. At least this year.
I'm not going to argue with you, because I totally get it. I 100% do. But I just have two questions to pose then, just to counterpoint. Number one, Jey needs to get a rematch. There have been too many title changes that haven't gotten a damn rematch, especially for the two men's titles, the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship, coming out of WrestleMania. Jey needs his rematch. Number two, if they're not going to explore Jey versus Gunther further, then what was the point of Jey passing out at the hands of Gunther? Now, I know that obviously moving forward, he can say, well, Gunther tapped out. I didn't. But what's the point if he's not going after his title that he just lost to Gunther? That is my personal opinion. I definitely see them going your direction 100%. But I feel like the way they've set it up, Jey's going after Gunther at SummerSlam. That's the way it's been set up in my eyes. But a lot can change in a month and a half. So we'll just have to wait and see.
And that we will. But we want to know y'all's opinion in the comments. Who's winning this tournament? And why the fuck are these four men in it? Are you as angry as we are that it's these four men? Again, with the exception of Cody Rhodes and probably Jey Uso, any one of these four would have been fine to see, or any two of these four would have been fine to see. But the fact that it is all four established WrestleMania main eventers, former, with the exception of Sami Zayn, never won a world championship, was NXT champion, so he's kind of a former world champion. None of these men need this victory, and a lot of men in this tournament did need this victory. And a lot of men who weren't even in this tournament needed this victory. So who would you have had win? Even if they're not on the screen right now, even if they weren't in the tournament, who did you want to win? Please let us know.
And do you want to see them have a lengthy run as King of the Ring? Now, obviously, we've touched on it. None of these four men are going to own into it, especially the way that a Kevin Owens would have. But I digress. He is injured, and we wish nothing but the best to KO. King Kevin is what I will forever be referring to him as from this point on. So, what do you guys think about this being more so a launching pad into number one contendership, as opposed to actually being about being King of the Ring? Let us know down below, because you know I don't like it.